Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Okay, the big question I keep seeing from everybody as I've scrolled through the Twitter lands today, will XRP hold support at 29 cents? Obviously, big rally over the last couple days going from about 25 cents all the way up to, I think it was a little over 32 cents at one point, and there's been a little bit of a pullback, so I'm going to be talking about that. And there's some interesting theories about how, of course, the movement of Bitcoin's price may kind of trump what, or I'd say determine, let's say that, what XRP and the rest of the alt market would do anyway. So I'm going to talk about that, and then towards the end of the video, I've got a piece on a different topic that I'm going to share with you, and it's from Cointelegraph titled, New IMF Blog Considers Pros and Cons of Adoption of Stablecoins. Oh, and by the way, guess who? If you watch my videos over the last couple days, you'll probably know who it is. Got a chart analyst predicting, regardless, $1 XRP next week. I'm going to share with you the details on that. But before we get rolling here, if you would please delicately tap that like button. And if you're a fan of Ripple and XRP, cool, we should be friends. Go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. So real quick update in terms of market cap. We've got, for the asset class, $272 billion market cap. You've got Bitcoin 10,233 as I record this, and XRP at just over 30 cents, all according to Live Coin Watch. And the XRP high we've seen over the last 24 hours, 31.87 cents, so just a hair below 32 cents. And the low we've seen just below 29 cents. So the chart on your screen right here, this is over a 24-hour period. And so it was more fun looking at it yesterday as the price was just stair-stepping up. But I got to say, and I want to say at the outset here too, in case you're not familiar with me, there are new subscribers coming on board all the time. I am not a chart analyst. I absolutely do not know how to read charts. I'm not going to pretend to be somebody I'm not. I'm just an enthusiastic member of the XRP community. And since I don't excel at that stuff, and I'm not a financial advisor, I like to share with everybody the opinions of others out there. And I've got a bunch of people's opinions here, including a number of chart analysts that I'm going to share with you in this video, but just want to be clear at the outset, I have to say it. I know people that listen to me a lot, you're like, I'm tired of hearing you say that. Sorry, not everybody listens to every video I make, so I want to be real clear that I'm not trying to lead anybody in a particular direction in terms of whether or not you should buy or sell. We're adults here, just make your own decisions. I just think it's fun to talk about this stuff. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's move a little bit further. Here's a tweet from fellow XRP YouTuber Kevin Cage. And he tweeted out, let's see if 29 cents was actually the new support, then approach 34 cents next week, ? No idea, but I enjoy my TA guys, of course, technical analysis guys is what he means there. And then he saw this, and I've been seeing this as well, which I'm going to share in this video, but he writes, Kevin Cage writes, I'm hearing more FUD about Bitcoin hitting $9,000 and potentially lower, and XRP going back to 25 cents. Time will tell. We've been in this bear market for too long. I'm feeling bullish now. I'm going to talk a little bit more on that topic just a little bit later in the video, just the idea of Bitcoin going down anywhere in that kind of ballpark of $9,000, and of course what that would do to XRP and other cryptocurrencies. All right, and then here we have this. Okay, so for those of you that haven't seen a couple of my videos over the last couple of days, since I don't make price predictions, anytime somebody in the XRP community, especially if they're a chart analyst, if they're gutsy enough to make a price prediction, that means price hitting this amount with a timestamp, I am willing and happy to talk about it. I think it makes for very interesting content for videos. And so the way I look at it is, if it comes to pass, maybe this person is indeed a wizard, or well, either that or they just got lucky, I guess. But on the flip side, of course, the negative is if you're wrong about your prediction, again, you did put your neck on the line, so everybody can just kind of judge accordingly. And everybody should be adults, nobody should be rude to somebody if they make a prediction and it doesn't come true. So please be friendly regardless here. But here is the a price prediction from @XRP Bitcoin, who tweets out, there are people who sold XRP at 32 cents yesterday. See you at $1 next week. Okay, quick recap on this guy. So a couple days ago, right before the price rally started, I say right before, I think it was about 12 hours before the rally started, this guy did in fact call it, and he was right, and sure enough, inside of 12 hours or so, it started going up and up and up. And then I covered, there's a piece about him in, I think it was Tron Weekly, about some of his price predictions and where it could go, including by summer of 2020. I can revisit that in this video. And he also made a prediction yesterday that if XRP were to hit 45 cents within the next 24 hours, that it would then for sure hit $3 and something cents by next week. And it didn't hit 45 cents, so he's out of that prediction since that first phase didn't happen. Now, I guess he's not beholden to that since he didn't say the first part would happen. But this one, it seems pretty set in stone. So he's saying $1 XRP next week. Let's track it. We can report back next week, okay, and see if this actually comes. Now, who wouldn't love it? Is it going to happen? I don't make price predictions, so I'm not going to say. All I know, especially I'm telling you, with me having come into the world of crypto in November of 2017, I wouldn't have ever dreamt that as I bought into XRP at 20 cents, that, just inside of 2 months, it would be worth almost $4. So like, I don't know the timing of this stuff. I just don't know. That's why for me, since my investment thesis is utility will win the day, I'm happy to just hold however long it takes. All the weak hands can leave. That's perfectly fine. And I'm just going to keep buying until I feel like the price has gone parabolic. So I do buy on a regular basis, but that's just what I choose to do. All right, now here's another chart analyst. This is Aquaflow XRP. Who writes, XRP quick status. Daily price closed above white line. Pullback was expected to retest white line. We need to close the weekly and the monthly candle above white line. It is a key level. Until now, XRP is doing very well and is holding key levels. So he seems to think that is going to hold this key level here. And so for the sake of this video, I don't think it matters that I try and describe this chart, especially since I'm not pretending that I'm a chart guy. I did pull it up full screen, so if you want to pause the video, take a look at what he was talking about, what I just read to you, feel free to do so here. So there's another opinion from another chart analyst. Let's move on to the next one here. This is not a chart analyst. I just kind of like this tweet. This is from XRP Hodler on Twitter, who writes, funny how many people are now asking whether they should wait for an entry at 25 or 26 cents. Where have you guys been 3 days ago? We were hovering there for many days, even dipped to 24.3 cents. That time, you didn't have the courage to buy. Now deal with it. So harsh love coming from XRP Hodler here. I understand the sentiment, but it's hard for people. There's that psychological thing when you're at all-time lows, nobody wants to buy. It's the funniest thing. I wish I could remember who I got this quote from, but somebody once said it's like when it comes to buying. He may have been referencing stocks actually, but he was just saying something along the lines of, it's the one thing where it can go on sale and that's when nobody wants to buy it. And so same would be true conceptually for cryptocurrency here. It can go on sale and that's the one time everybody wants to pay it when it's at its all-time high, when it's at a premium, people FOMOing in, and that's just how humans behave, and I recognize that. And so that's my whole thing. It's like, since I know humans haven't figured out the asset class and I know they're going to keep buying and selling emotionally, I'm happy to buy at these low levels while it's on sale. And I only put in money that I'm willing to lose in the off chance I'm wrong about this, because I do have, high confidence. But still, if I were wrong, I don't want it to mortally wound my retirement or something like that. So I am still, only putting in what I'm willing to lose anyway. All right, now here's a piece from fxstreet.com titled Ripple's XRP Technical Analysis, XRP/USD Bulls hit by big barrier within 30 cent region. And I'm just going to read you the few bullet points from this rather than dig into everything, because I don't want this video to go insanely long. So here's the first bullet point. Ripple's XRP price on Thursday is trading heavily in the red by some 9%. 2. XRP/USD price action broke out from a bearish pennant structure and is heading for a retest. 3. The bulls ran into a heavy supply area within the big psychological 30-cent price mark. And then take a look at this. I did want to share this with you. Crypto analysts recalibrate after wild week for altcoins. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Litecoin forecasts. So let me kind of run through this with you here conceptually, because as I always say, XRP is, I firmly believe, tethered to the price action of Bitcoin. And as I always say, that doesn't mean down to the second, the minute, the hour, the day, the week, the month, sometimes not even by half a year. But it is indeed correlated, especially when Bitcoin goes down, right? keep that in mind. That's when it's almost always going to, it's like almost a sure thing. If Bitcoin's going down, that's what it seems like to me anyway. That XRP and every other altcoin is sure to follow, having nothing to do with the utility of the XRP or anything like that. So anyway, this piece reads, crypto analysts are recalibrating after a wild week for altcoins, followed by yet another drop below $10,000 for Bitcoin. An analyst known in the industry as the Crypto Dog tells his 162,000 followers he's bullish on Ethereum, quote, ETH carrying strong, markets looking very bullish. He's also mocking the much repeated meme that Bitcoin will never dip below the $10,000 mark again, and by tweeting out, BTC 5 digits never again, so again mocking. At the time of publishing, Bitcoin has once again climbed above the key psychological barrier, down 1.36% at 10,040 according to Coin360. Okay, now let me get down a little bit further here. Okay, so after a brief hot streak, the altcoin market is now mostly in the red. Ethereum is up 4.05% at $220.70. XRP is down 4.46% at 30.22 cents, and we don't care about Litecoin, so I'm not going to read that. And then check this out. Okay, so here's the part where we're getting into Bitcoin and want to talk about what it could mean for altcoins, including XRP. So FX Street analyst Tanya Abrasimova says Bitcoin remains at risk of further losses in the short term unless it can climb back above $10,250. And here's a quote. Meanwhile, we will need to see a sustainable move above this handle for the upside to gain traction, with the next focused on 10,250, and then parentheses states the middle line of a Bollinger Band on a daily chart. On the downside, a move below $9,750, the lower line of one-day Bollinger Band, will trigger more sell-off and push the price towards lows of 9,600. This support is followed by 9,300, which is the lowest level from August 30th. Okay, so let me just give you my everyday guy opinion here, and this is not anything even approaching a price prediction, but I would be shocked if this happens, if Bitcoin really goes down to those levels, whether it's 9,600 or especially, let's just say 9,300, I would just be really, really surprised if you didn't see a dramatic downturn in terms of prices of altcoins, and that does include XRP. So that's why, like, when people are always freaking out, oh my God, why is XRP price so stagnant, this or that? It's because humans don't understand where the crypto asset class is going. And so I'd argue that most investors in cryptocurrency are just purely wildly speculating and are not putting their money in based on an understanding of utility, especially as it pertains to XRP. XRP is the only cryptocurrency actually being used in the commercial production of anything. One would think, if it were a completely rational, mature asset class and market, that XRP would be leading the pack. And, well, I agree with you. I'm sure that if you're listening to this, it's an XRP-centric channel. You probably already figured this out yourself. But yeah, absolutely. But we are not in a mature asset class here. And so, but that's cool. It's from my perspective, not financial advice, but I think it's a cool buying opportunity, and I am acting accordingly here. But yeah, if Bitcoin indeed does hit these lower levels, watch out. But again, the way I look at it, since I think the asset class is here to stay, for someone like me, that's a great buying opportunity. Now, the way I do things is I buy on a set schedule regardless of price. So I don't emotionally buy, oh my God, the price looks low. I don't do that. I just choose to be very disciplined, and I can miss out. But hey, in terms of dollar cost averaging in, to me, it makes a whole lot of sense. I leave the emotion out of it, period. And then you got this piece from Cointelegraph. Bitcoin fails to regain $10,000 as Bitcoin dominance hit 6-week low, and it actually had since then, but still I wanted to cover part of this. Okay, so data from, all right, is that the part I wanted to cover? Yeah. Oh yeah, here's the altcoin. Altcoins had indeed outperformed Bitcoin in recent days, with some putting in as much as 20% gains. With the U-turn, however, almost all reversed much of their recent successes. Despite the Bitcoin dip, most Bitcoin alt pairs still looking good. Encouraging, Texas West Capital trader Scott Milker said. With little bullish sentiment around, only proponents eyeing historical trend information continued to dispel concerns Bitcoin markets were shaky. On Thursday, analyst Plan B reproduced a chart of Bitcoin price versus network difficulty, a relationship implying Bitcoin may be at the start of a larger bull phase. And so who knows? Okay, if it's the start of a larger bull phase, super duper, that will just bode well for XRP price as well, I suspect. Or if it's going to go down anyway, then it probably wouldn't be as bad. But I will say, in terms of altcoins giving up most of their gains, at least as I record this, and who knows by the time you listen to it, because we're talking about crypto, but XRP hasn't given up that much of its gains. It was at 25 cents and then about 32 and still hovering around 30 cents now. That's actually, for crypto, I mean, that doesn't sound too bad to me. I'm more concerned for this guy. I'm going to pull back up on my screen here at XRP Bitcoin, because in a vacuum, even if his technical analysis makes sense, in a vacuum, once you throw Bitcoin in the mix and the fact that Bitcoin is tethered to this, his prediction of XRP hitting $1 next week, if Bitcoin tanks, I don't know how the hell that could happen, even if his technical analysis makes sense. So I hope that he had thought through that as well. That's just my 2 cents on it, though, just from your everyday Joe type of guy opinion. All right, and then I got this from XRP Crypto Wolf. XRP Crypto Wolf, thank you so much for sending this my way. I do appreciate it, good sir. He sends me all sorts of yummy crypto news right to my Twitter inbox every day. And so this piece titled, New IMF Blog Considers Pros and Cons of Adoption of Stablecoins. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has released a blog in which it outlines both potential benefits and risks associated with the adoption of new digital payment methods, including stablecoins. In its recent published blog entitled The Rise of Digital Money, the IMF set forth pros and cons of the wide adoption of stablecoins, digital currencies pegged to a physical asset or fiat currency and designed to minimize price volatility. While the agency said that stablecoins could bring significant benefits to customers and society, it pointed out a range of purported risks related to their usage. In the IMF's analysis, banks could lose their role as intermediaries as the public would switch to stablecoin providers. However, banks will purportedly not disappear because they will likely try to compete by developing their own innovations. The blog further states that new monopolies represented by tech giants could evolve. As such, tech companies could use their networks to sidestep rivals and monetize data. Among other implications, the IMF named policymakers need to reinforce consumer protection and financial stability and the possibility of losing of seigniorage. In countries subject to inflationary changes, stablecoins in foreign currency could replace local currencies, the blog reads, which could subsequently undermine monetary policy and financial development. According to the IMF, stablecoins could also boost illicit activities, including money laundering and terrorist financing. Yeah, I don't know that I buy into that. If it's not a privacy coin, come on, whatever. If it's not a privacy coin, you should be able to track this stuff. But anyway, new technologies offer opportunities to improve monitoring. However, supervisors will need to adapt to the more fragmented and geographically diverse value chain of stablecoins, the blog writes. At the same time, the IMF suggested that stablecoins could enable seamless payments of blockchain-based assets, reduce transaction costs, and increase transaction speed, further adding, quote, but the strongest attraction comes from the networks that promise to make transacting as easy as using social media. Stablecoins offer the potential for better integration into our digital lives and are designed by firms that thrive on user-centric design. Okay, so all fine stuff, well, almost entirely anyway. That's one little caveat. But as I'm reading through this, just understand, as you're talking about how stablecoins can make things more seamless, this and that, okay, fine, it's all well and good, but if you're talking about the way in which they move money around the world, I'm still going to insist that these are walled gardens, and walled gardens will need to be connected somehow. And the only way to connect them in an efficient manner is to use a decentralized cryptocurrency that is backed by nothing. Has to be backed, other than market confidence, which makes perfect sense to me. I mean, people talk about assets needing to be backed by something. Okay, so the dollar needs to be backed by gold. Okay, so gold needs to be backed by what? Consumer confidence? What is that? It's not everything, because it's like this endless regression of backed by what, backed by what, backed by what. No, it doesn't quite work like that. And I think that it's enough. I think that time will show that it's enough just that cryptocurrencies are legitimately useful, even just this, legitimately used by businesses. I think that will be enough for humans to have confidence to perpetually apply a market value. And they'll do what they do, and humans will be the speculative creatures they are, and price will go up and go down, sometimes parabolic. But I think when this is a mature asset class, it's going to be pretty boring. I really think it's going to be pretty boring, and prices will stabilize at some point. I don't know when, but it seems to be taking people a very long time to figure this stuff out, given the asset class has existed for a decade now, and there's still this insane frenzy around the whole thing, even after that run-up that we just saw at the end of 2017. So who knows when the excitement around it's going to die down, but I doubt it's going to be anytime soon. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!